In this video, we will explain what is Git and why it is one of the most powerful tools every developer must learn. So let's get started.
Okay, so before knowing Git, right, we will try to understand what version control system is. Okay, and then we'll derive to Git. So ultimately in this page, right, we'll come to the Git. But let's first understand what is VCS. Okay, so what is a version control system? So let's say you have a file, okay, and then in that file, right, you created first version as V1, then you created another version as V2, okay, and then you created another version as you know V3. So you are keep on updating it, right? You're keep on updating these files. So every time you create a version, like let's say I renamed it as underscore V1, it was having some changes. Then I created underscore V2, and then I made some more changes. Then I keep made another changes and renamed it as underscore V3. So all these three files are different from each other, and they all of them has some or extra commit. I can even rename them, right, without making the changes also. But from the analogy point of view, we are telling this as version control system. So every time you create a version or you maintain different version of a file, right? So that controlling you do through the VCS, or you call it VCS. Okay. So now in VCS, this is simple term, like we all know what is Git in common, but let's understand VCS. Okay, so versioning control system, and this versioning control system you implement, you have seen in S3 also, you are versioning, right? You're versioning each and every file. You can enable the versioning in the bucket, right? So this is being leveraged in a lot of places. Even when you are writing or creating Docker image, or we will learn Docker image, right? At that time you give the tag v1, v2, v3. So basically this versioning in to ideally to differentiate or to understand that one is different from another. That's why we are giving different version. Or if you see any app or anything, you will be seeing different versions of the app, right? So basically it illustrates that there is a difference, and what difference is it, you get those in the change log also sometime. Okay, so coming back to VCS is nothing but it is like a version control system where you maintain versioning of different files. Okay, then there are multiple types of versioning VCS. Okay, one is local, like we have this local, right? Like I can have a Excel with multiple version with me. Okay, that is local versioning, but that will be only with me, right? Then you have central where you have multiple developers, developer 1, developer 2, developer 3, and they all will be writing, or they all will be putting their versioning, okay, their versions, their changes they will be updating in the central server. Okay, this is called as centralized version control system. But the problem in centralized or in local is first of all, it is not at all, it is not at all a collaborative approach, because it is only with the person who has created it or who is maintaining it. In the central, you have a common server where you can put, or you have a common place where you can put all these files, right? And you can maintain it. But again, it is central server. So if the central is going down, right, then you are done. Like dev2, if dev2 wants to pull the changes, or dev2 wants to get the changes like what dev was written by dev1, he cannot get it because the source is central. Okay, so this is what CVCS is, Central Version Control System. Okay. Then comes the distributed version control system. In the distributed version control system, you will be having similar set of versions everywhere on multiple servers or multiple people. Let's say you have computer 1, computer 2, or developer 1, developer 2. Developer 1 will have similar set of files. Now he can add a v4 on top of it, like, or he, and then once he pushes, right, once he can, okay, let me explain it in better way. So for example, this v1, v2, v3 was created by someone else. Okay, now if another new developer is coming up, right, and he wants to basically make some new changes, like let's say he wants to create v4. Okay, so what will happen, he will have this v4 changes, he will add this v4 changes, and let's understand it in simple way. He will add this v4 simple in his local, and then he will ensure, as it is distributed, right, he will send it to the main server. Then next time another developer, if C4 is coming, right, this is C3, so what C4 will get? C4 will get all these 4 files, right? Even this C1 and C2, the moment they want to update them, right, they will also get this V4. Okay, so this is like a distributed system where, where you can have similar set of files, or later point we'll call it index, or similar set of data on each server. You can add your part, and then you can, send that part to the main server, and other people can, take those changes. So that is why it is distributed version control system, and Git is actually falling in DVCS, which is distributed version control system. Okay, so anybody having doubts in this terminology? What is Git? At least did you get what is Git?